This is starting from here. Okay. We are reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, page number 578, second paragraph. This is the story. Swami invites hippies in New York City. This is something familiar to me because I joined from New York. Steve Mohrler, age 20, born and raised in New York, and now living in hippie life in San Francisco, has read the oracle about Swami Bhaktivedanta coming to San Francisco. The idea of meeting an Indian Swami has interested him, and responding to a notice that has been posted on the Haight Street, he had gone along with Caroline Cold, the woman he was living with, to the airport to meet Swami Bhaktivedanta. He and Caroline both had gotten a blissful lift by chanting Hare Krishna and seeing Prabhupada. They began regularly attending the lectures and kirtanas at the temple. Steve decided he wanted to become like the Swami. So he and Caroline went together to Srila Prabhupada and requested initiation. Speaking privately with Prabhupada in his room, they discussed obedience to the spiritual master and become vegetarian. When Prabhupada told them that they should either stop living together or get married, they said that they would like to get married. An initiation date was set. Prabhupada asked Steve to shave his long hair and beard. Why do you want me to shave my head? Steve protested. Krishna had long hair, Rama had long hair, Chaitanya also had long hair, and the Christ had long hair. Why should I shave my head? Prabhupada smiled and replies, because now you are following me. There was a print on the wall of Suradas, a Vaishnava. You should shave your head like that. Prabhupada said, pointing to Suradas, I don't think I'm ready to do that yet, Steve said. All right, you are still a young man. There is still time, but at least you should shave your face clean and cut your hair like a man. On the morning of the initiation, Steve shaved off his beard and cut his hair around his ears so that it was short in the front, but long in the back. How is this? He asked. You should cut the back also. Prabhupada replied. Steve agreed. To Steve, Prabhupada gave the name Subala and to Caroline the name Krishna Devi. A few days later, he performed their wedding. Since each ceremony was another occasion for kirtan and prasadam distribution, onlookers became attracted and at the spiritual names and married couple increased with each ceremony. Prabhupada's spiritual family grew. The harmonious atmosphere was like that of a small, loving family, and Prabhupada dealt with his disciple intimately without formalities of an institution or hierarchy. Disciples would approach him with various reasons, entering a little apartment to be alone with him as he sat on the mat before his makeshift desk in the morning sunlight. With men like Mukunda, Gurudas, and Shyamasundar, Swamiji was a friend. With Janaki and Govinda Dasi, he was sometimes ready to be chided amongst almost like their naughty son. And he would be their grandfatherly teacher of cooking and enforcer of the rules of the kitchen cleanliness. And to all of them, he was unfathomable, pure devotee of Lord Krishna, who knew the conclusions of all the Vedic scriptures and who knew beyond all doubts the truth of transmigration. He could answer all questions. He could lead them to beyond the material life, beyond hate, esprit, hippiedom, and into the spiritual world with Krishna. It was 7 p.m. Srila Prabhupada entered the temple dressed in a saffron dhoti, an old turtleneck jersey under the cardigan sweater, and chadar around his shoulder. Walking to the dais in the rear of the room, he took his seat. The dais and cushion atop the redwood plank, 2 feet off the floor, was supported between the two redwood columns. In front of the dais stood a cloth-covered lantern with a bucket of cut flowers, and with this on the other side. Covering the wall behind the dais was a typical Indian madras. Madras means the chadar, the backdrop, what we call, with the Haridasa's crude painting of Lord Chaitanya in Kirtan hanging around against it. That's it. Finished. Okay. This is the when Mukunda Mukunda Maharaj, Mukunda Maharaj invited Srila Prabhupada to come from, New York to San Francisco. So at that time, this was the initial reaction, and the hippie were thus invited. All right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter number 29, text number 30, 31. Kshutparitaha yatha dinaha sarameyaha graham graham charan vindati yat dishta dandam odanam eva va tatha kama ashayah jivah uccha avaka patha brahman upari adha va madhye va yati drisham priya apriyam Shutparito yatha dinaha sarameyo graham graham charam vindanti yaddishtam dandamodanameva va tatha kamashayo jiva uccavacha patha brahman upar yatho va madhye va yati dishtam priya priyam. Can you repeat one time and Mataji one time? Mother. Kshut paritaha, overcome by hunger. Yatha as dinaha, poor. Sarameyaha, a dog. Dog. Griham, from one house. Graham to another house. Charan, wandering. Vindati, receives. Yat, whose. Dishtam, according to destiny. Dandam, punishment. Odanam, food. Eva, certainly. Va, or tatha, similarly. Kama ashraya, pursuing different types of desires. Jiva, the living entity. Ucha, high. Avacha, low. Patha, on the path. Brahman, wandering. Upari, high. Atha, low. Va, or madhye, in the middle. Va, or yati, goes towards this term according to destiny. Priya, pleasing. Apriyam, not pleasing. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The living entity is exactly like a dog who, overcome with hunger, goes from one door to another for some food. According to his destiny, he sometimes receives punishment and is driven out, and at other times he receives a little food to eat. Similarly, the living entity, being influenced by so many desires, wanders in different species of life according to destiny. Sometimes he is high and sometimes he is low. Sometimes he goes to heavenly planets and sometimes to hell, sometimes to the middle planets, and so on. The living entity's position is herein likened to a dog's. By chance, a dog may have a very rich owner, and by chance, he may have become a street dog, as the dog of a rich man will live very opulently. Sometimes in the Western countries, we hear of the master leaving millions of dollars to a dog in his will. Of course, there are many dogs loitering in the street without food. Therefore, to fallen condition existence of the living entity to that of a dog is very appropriate. An intelligent human being, however, can understand that if he has to live the life of a dog, he had best become Krishna's dog. In the material world, a dog is sometimes elevated and sometimes on the street. But in the spiritual world, Krishna's dog is perpetually, eternally happy. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has therefore sung, Vaishnava Thakur Tomara Kukur Baliya Jahan More. In this way, Bhaktivinoda Thakur offers to become a Vaishnava's dog. A dog always keeps himself at his master's door and does not allow any person unfavorable to the master to enter. Similarly, one should be engaged in the service of Vaishnava and try to please him in every respect. Unless one does so, he does not make spiritual advancement. Apart from spiritual advancement in the material world, if one does not develop his qualities and goodness, he cannot be promoted to the higher planetary system, as confirmed by Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 18th verse. Urdhvam gachanti sastvastha madhye tishtanti rajasa jaganya guna vrittistha adho gachanti tamasa. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to a higher planet, and those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets, and those in the mode of ignorance go down to the hellish planets. There are many varieties of life in different planetary systems, and this came about due to the living entities developing his qualities in goodness, passion, and ignorance. If one is in goodness, he is promoted to the higher systems. If in passion, he remains in the middle systems, and in the ignorance, is pushed down to the lower species of life. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanushalakaya Chakshulmilitanjena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jata Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavauscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitamtam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarabhyascha Kripa Sindhabhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The living entity is exactly like a dog who overcome and with hunger goes from door to door for some food. According to his destiny, he sometimes receives punishment and is driven out, and other times receives a little food to eat. Similarly, the living entity, being influenced by the many desires, wanders in different species of life according to the destiny. Sometimes he is high and sometimes he is low. Sometimes he goes to the heavenly planets and sometimes to hell, sometimes to the middle planetary system. So Narad Muni was explaining to King Prachin Barhishat about the allegory of Puranjan, and Prachin Barhishat said, sorry, it is too difficult for me to understand this story of Puranjan. What does it signify? What does it signify? So Narad Muni in this chapter explains the meaning of the allegorical thing, but it's a factual understanding. So it also is the address of the soul by his karma, which is impelled by the modes of material nature that take him from upper to the lower planetary systems. So here the living entity is compared to a dog. When we went to USA in the early 70s, we were living in a cluster of bachelors. You know, there are about 10 in one apartment because in the beginning, nobody will be getting good salaries, you know, and they have to compete with the locals. So we were a group of about 10, and when we come from the job, I was earning only $2 an hour. All right. That was the most minimum they can give to me. I said, okay. I worked like that for about 3 months. And then I went into the research. But meanwhile, you have to do something in order to eat. And there was no food except pizza available that is suitable, what they call it. Now, when we gather together in the evening, we watch around the TV, and at interval, the advertisement of dim dim, dim dim, crystal glasses by a rich lady to call a cat or a dog and said, dim dim is ready, eat. And we were thinking, oh my God, the dog's life here in America is very good. Okay, I'll prefer to become dog in my next life. Otherwise, everybody was hating the hard work that they have to do in the beginning. So really, I said, what about if we are born as dogs in India? We'll be driven out, we'll be stoned. Uh, you know, uh, you aspire to die here, but you never know where your moods are going to take you off. You may be born as a dog, maybe in China to be eaten away. You never know. Huh? So, the living entity with unsatiated desires. These desires are a combination of the modes of material nature. And they are constantly, contemplating. And the desires are becoming so complicated, but they are locked in the mind. So whenever the opportunity comes, the mind expresses to have that desire. And we are compelled, as if we are robots. So a living entity is in a very precarious condition. He is so much trapped in the effect of the three modes of material nature. And Prabhupada is quoting it. He says, Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha madhye tishtanti rajasa jaganya guna vrittistha adho gachanti tamasa. The destination of the three modes of material nature is also decided. And when we are not aware that what kind of or quality of our desires that we are being dragged, the mind is so restless in the unsatiable desires that you cannot come to a very fixed, destination that you want to pursue. It's a hard work against your own nature. Many times, even the students in the uni face this problem. When they are exposed to unlimited sense gratificatory desires, they spoil their destination. The aim is there and destiny is there. That is for sure. But on the journey, if we come across different influences of the modes, when we study aim and objective in Krishna consciousness, we have all purchased the ticket and travel, and the destination is there for sure. But on the way, if we meet a fellow passenger and we try to take interest in him, and we say that, Prabhu, what are you doing and what not? And we are hunting for desires. So we think that, by his company, I may get my desire fulfilled. So our destination will change if we run after the influence. So our influence, a circle of influence increases. Circle of influence is increasing because there are different grades of desires which are going to, you know, take us to a different destination. We have purchased the ticket for our going back home, back to Godhead, right? So the destination is there. But on the way, if we counteract so many either difficulties or favors, that may change our destination. So even though we are in Krishna consciousness, we have to see what keeps our original destination that we desired intact, and do not allow other mix-up to come in between. So that is called discipline. Discipline is a stern process. Without discipline, a disciple cannot become, glorious. We lose our glories by stepping out of the discipline, taking chances, oh, who is there to see me? Let me do it. I'm a senior devotee, and they take it for granted. Now forget it. The destination can be immediately changed because we are associating with the modes of material nature, and they are very powerful. But more humble we can adapt because we need to subdue our insatiable desires and try to satisfy Guru and Krishna's desire. Then our destination is secured. And we will be able to make a mark on that progress. However, on the progress, even if we fall in this destination, even if we fall, Narad Muni says, Kova Bhadra Bhuta Mushrikin, what is the harm? What is inauspicious for the one who has fallen? He will soon get up and pursue. The Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma Swasachantam Nigachati Kaunteya Pratijani Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotee will never perish because soon he will become righteous. So sometimes we think that tests and are essential that comes on our way, even though our destiny is secure. So we should be not behaving like dog. Dog doesn't understand destiny. His destiny is on the stomach only. And we say those who are so much educated materially in the universities, the destiny is on the stomach. They may eat better than their fathers, better life, but that is ignorance. What is the use if we change our destiny? The destiny is going back home, back to Godhead. That is the highest ever said to be in the human form of life, and that's the culture in which we have come about. It is so natural to us to understand. The Western culture is hedonistic culture, simply depending upon satisfying their desires. And desires are mounting like pile of garbage, and we are stuck in it. And when the pile of garbage is stuck on us, it's difficult to cleanse. And big cities like Delhi and others, we have seen mountains of garbage piling up. mountains. They don't know what to do. In metropolis, and they have difficulty because they don't have destination. They have material destination of so-called cleanliness, but because they are corrupt, their hearts are not clean, even the garbage outside will not be clean. And that is exactly what has happened. In America, they sell their garbage to other nations. And they are happy to purchase it. Oh, it's an American garbage. Huh? American garbage. These stories are coming up. But we can say people can be full anyway. In America, when in early 70s, the deodorant with the fluorine, that is a gas that is filled in and the aroma is there. So you spray, clean. And it became a big seller. But soon within 10, 12 years, they saw the ozone layer was depleting because of fluorocarbon that they were using. So environmental facility, they immediately objected. We should ban this. But they are producing. Where do they sell? Okay, sell to India, sell to somewhere. It's damn cheap. People are selling of garbage and they are minting money. Unsatiable desires. Okay. So, in any rate, we have to understand that after all, these are dog mentality and they have to be punished. So, Jiva in material condition of life is influenced by the three modes of material nature, and he pave his destiny. Sometimes he go when he is in mode of goodness, he will rise up to the planetary system where mode of goodness is prevailing. That is Swarga. Urdhvam gachanti sattvas. And those who are balancing, okay, moderately, madhya tishtanti rajasa, they will come back into material planet again. And adho gachanti tamasa, because they have jaganya guna vritti. Jaganya means lowest, guna means tamogun, vritti. The jaganya guna vritti sta adho gachanti tamasa. So this is the destination. The jiva is attracted within its own counter. Yesterday we also touched this subject in the evening program. And the jiva is bewildered because the mind is coming along with him. Intelligence is also there, but it is overwhelmed by unsatiable desires. So the enjoying spirit is there. So he will look for attractive places within the counter of a fertilized egg. It starts the explanation of yeah, the previous chapter, there's the living entity as Puranjana. That is the story of the Puranjana. But when the story is explained on a huge scale, like he's going in a big garden, no, soul is tiny. He's going in a big garden and getting attracted by a beautiful figure. And that is in our experience, but it is experienced within the cellular structure also inside. That is how the attraction, and the gunas are so stringent and minute because the whole material world is working under the effect of the three modes. So, prakriti kriyamanani. It is the nature who is working under Krishna's jurisdiction. You know, she acts gunai karmani sarva through the agency of the three modes of material. She acts. But ahankaram vimudhatma kartaram iti manyate. This is the false ego that he thinks he is the Lord and Master. Like a Puranjan thinks a Lord and Master. The dog is also think that this is his territory, Lord and Master. If some other dog will come, then he will start barking at him. Similarly, this proclivity, the desires are in even well-educated Brahmanas also. A Brahman is depending upon his locale and he begs alms from door to door. All right? Similarly, a dog. But if another Brahman will come in his locale, what he will do? Brahmanaha Brahmanam drashtva swanavad guru guraite. Guru. They will start barking at each other. Hey, where the hell you have come from? This is my territory. Oh, you are kicking on my stomach? They will say, you are kicking on my stomach. Even in Vrindavan, when you come, the fights with two pandas can startle you. That even in Vrindavan, we have similar situation. You will be shocked. But that is the nature of the material world. What we are supposed to cultivate is the deeper meaning and application to our spiritual life. And we have to remain within the discipline rather than exploiting at the cost of the discipline. So, this is a very important explanation. The jivas certainly are carried away by the mind, intelligence, and ego after the death. Tatha dehantara praptim devas tatra namote. He is also bewildered due to the insatiable desires which are developing within his body when it grows. Like the adolescent body. Oh my God, they will drive parents crazy, right? So we have to understand, if our destination is secured, then discipline will protect that destination. And if we are indisciplined, we want to also simultaneously look at our own desires. We think the children are accidental products of marriage. No. This system, nobody can violate. So only those who have developed resolute faith on the discipline of going back home, back to Godhead, then they can be successful by adhering to the laws and bylaws and everything. Protect. That is the glory of Amnaya. Srila Prabhupada brought the disciplic succession, unbroken chain of disciplic succession. When disciplic succession breaks, because there is a different desire. As for example, when Vallabhacharya became separated from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by accepting the Acharya position of Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. He was offered in Gaudiya Vaishnava also, acknowledging, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu acknowledged his Subodhini up to the Balya Leela, and that is the story in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. And but he chose to be an Acharya in Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, because after Vishnu Swami, this Rudra Sampradaya was getting extinct. There was nobody. So he tried. That's okay, with a good intention, right? But as soon as Vallabhacharya left, his sons took over, and a different destination came. In the beginning, they were very much obedient in worship and so much, but the power without liberation is useless. The Goswami children are considered to be direct descendants of Krishna's various forms. So that makes some kind of offshoot sampradaya. And we see that Vallabha Sampradaya will not last long, because it is not appealing to general mass, but only to some Vaishnava Samudaya. Their initiation system called Brahma Sambandha is also loose goose. They think if one person is initiated in the household, everybody is considered to be initiated. And this goes on some, our Goswami Sampradaya also in Bengal, there was one gentleman, he was in touch with ISKCON in Vancouver, Canada. He's from Bangladesh, all right? Just like Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself was initiated by Bipin Bihari Goswami, but he was in the family tradition, not guru disciple, but family discipline. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj was not appreciating the way he was conducting with his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Some stories are there, but at the same time, the understanding is that they went asar, declining. The disciplic succession is one thing, but seminal succession is another, which is more prone to bodily conception of life and deviating from the main tenets, which Vallabhacharya received in disciplic succession. They ignore the teachings of Madhavendra Puri. They consider him as a Madhavendra Yati only. Upon the Jatipura in Govardhan is established by Vallabhacharya. But now the clans say, oh, we know Madhavendra Yati. But what is his significance? He is a Guru, Siksha Guru. So Siksha Guru Sampradaya is also valid, but they didn't want to. They said it's an exclusive family business. Exclusive family business. So transporting from the real destination, if it is simply dependent on a family, then what is the value? That's the same system in political, the Gandhi family, Nehru family, and they are still thinking the Congress means Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. So it's a deteriorating thing, and it won't last because the modes of material nature are so powerful that even the destinies, uh, uh, the families and all dynasties even are finished. The protection is in guru-disciple relation. Protection is in so if we say uh, uh, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, right? Three things are the confirmatory subjects that we should refer. And what is meant by sadhu? And Prabhupada says, all that came in the disciplic succession, unbroken chain of disciplic succession, these are our good protection. If you follow Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, you are not otherwise. So it's a strict discipline, but we are getting. Sato vritti. 6 things are promoting our devotional service. They can make us advance. Utsahat, Nishchayat, Dhairya, Tatta Karma, Pravartanat, Sangha Tyago, Sato vritti. What is Sato vritti? Have inclination to follow unbroken chain of disciplic succession. All sadhus, they are all satam, and they are powerful to continue the disciplic succession. Satam prasangam mama virya samvidha bhavanti radkarana rasayana katha tajjoshanavam apavarga vartmani shraddha rati bhakti anukramashyati. This is the process that Srila Prabhupada brought, and it is extolled by Kapil Dev, telling Devahuti, mother, you associate with the sadhu. In the talks of Krishna Katha, you will perceive my strength. Virya means prowess. We have to perceive. We don't like to give up Srila Prabhupada because unless and until we have perception, it is not a sentimental thing, but that's what is needed. Otherwise, unsatiable desires can crave in any way and can get separate. Madhu Pandit, separate desire. Prabhupada said, to walk on the path of pure devotional service is like walking on the razor's edge. A wrong foot can cut you off. So ISKCON is trying to stick and can take an object. If some whimsical ideology comes in, it becomes like, mind wandering like a dog. So thank you very much. Anybody has any question? Yeah.
It is said that Karmanya Devanetrena Jatur Deho.
Karmanya?
Devanetrena.
Karmanya va?
Karmanya Devanetrena.
Karmanya Devanetrena Janto Deha Utapattati.
So, when we are controlled by the destiny, or controlled by the karma, so when we again come into the material world, whether the 3 modes are predominant or our karma is predominant.
Karma is impelled by the modes.
By the modes.
Yes. Karma means to interfere in working of Mother Nature. It's an interference. Everything is done by Mother Nature. For animals, they don't do karma. For a human being, they put their own desires and change the natural progression. They want to pave their own destination by themselves. Why the government impels the laws that at the age of 18 you are independent? Because you have independent thoughts and independent desires, so you pave your own destiny. Parents have no business to interfere. They change the destiny. Even however you try to control and guide, but the age is coming and you cannot have any control. Parents cannot have control. It's crime to have control. So, Daivanetra, but Devanetra is karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahmaksharam samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nitya yagya pratishtha. The energy of karma is coming from Brahma and we misuse because of the influence of the modes. Prakriti kriyamanani guni karmani sarva. But ahankaram vimudhatma kartaram. Why ahankar? Because false desires. So false ego. Okay. What is the true ego? Eh? You don't know. Huh? Dasoham asmi is the true ego. Ego means identity. We can't put up false identities. Sarvapadir vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesam sevanam bhaktiruchyate. The definition of bhakti, that you have to get rid of all the upadhis. Di means intelligence. Upa means one which is product of. If your intelligence is simply geared on the material nature in its working, then we are a gone case. It's not befit for a civilized human being. It's an animal. An animal is impelled by the three modes of material nature. But human being should not be impelled by modes of material nature. Rather, he should be guided properly in order to overcome. Because he is not made up of material nature. His body may be, but he is part and parcel of the Supreme Whole. This is how our stand, dharana, dharayatiti dharma. Where do you stand? What do you have? Dharmo hi yatra eka vishesho dharmena hina pasubhisham. So this is the most important factor that as a human being we should look into the highest development to withstand dharana, of we being part and parcel of the Supreme Court. The energy of karma is coming from Brahma's energy. You came without anything. You have been supplied through consciousness. Consciousness is spiritual energy, not material energy. And we abuse through the senses, then we have to be punished. Because desires, there are many questions of certain desires which may not be good for competing between the two sexes. male and female. And they must be honored or understood to develop the traits where Krishna himself is investing in male and female. In Bhagavad Gita, one of the opulence of Lord Krishna says, I am ability in men. Paurusham drushu. I am ability in men. That's only one trait in male. But he says distinctly the 7 traits in female. They are his investment. Mrityu sarva harasyaham udbhavascha bhavishyatam kirti shri vak chanarinam smritir medha dhritikshama. 7 traits. If we remain even in that God-given body and develop these traits, our life will be successful because they are Krishna's opulences. Not for our sense gratification, but to utilize for the service of the Lord. Men can also develop because after all, Atma is female in nature. Is not male in nature. Atma is female in nature. Even in female body, Atma is female, but even in male body, Atma is female in nature. Tatashta Shakti. Shakti is female. So, we can develop all these traits because these are the investment of Lord Shri Krishna. Man can be more adept to develop ability. He's able to do. Okay, then be my guest. Show your ability by becoming an ideal grahastha. They have ability to detach. Women do not have ability to detach. Neither it is recommended that detachment is there. Of course, even in dependent state, they can develop this intrinsic detachment, knowing everything because it applies to everyone, how to get out from that. But as far as the body is concerned, it must be protected, and that's a compensation. With 7 traits, you still have to remain protective of that. Otherwise, on your own, you cannot protect. So these are all important lessons that are developed through following a very bona fide disciplic succession. And we are fortunate to come under the bona fide disciplic succession. Anything else to discuss?
The next class. Guru Maharaj, we understand so many times the same topic. We are stuck in material world. But if you see, when we meet in Shastra, it says that when some people can make the decision right away. And because 2 points you mentioned very clearly, discipline, very important. How can we get, why the discipline will not come to us even hearing so many times?
Ask Haribol, can he repeat it?
Why discipline in our life?
Why did it?
By discipline. discipline. Why we are not able to get the discipline to follow the path?
Why you do not get
Discipline.
discipline? Why no, discipline is there, you don't want to follow. So why did Krishna tell you not to follow? Because you still have a different desire, conflicting desire. Therefore, you do not follow. If Krishna is allowing you to follow your desires which are not his desire, do you blame Krishna for that? Krishna is not responsible. Because you are individual, Krishna is the supreme individual. Individuality is not going to be lost. You can't become impersonalist by removing the individuality. But minute misuse of independence, of being an individual, however insignificant individual you may be, that is the paving point to disobey. It is due to enviousness. Don't blame Krishna. Oh, Krishna, you didn't give me that intelligence. How do you know that you needed that intelligence? Where did you get from that idea? Ultimate source will be Krishna. So, can you question your father? Why did you beget me? Can anybody question? It's your fault. The purpose of bringing children is different because they belong to Krishna. Krishna, through you, wants to have them appropriate bodies so they can make their life successful by getting free and never come again. So it is a thankless task to beget children. Because yet you have to liberate them. That is the purpose. Give them opportunity to get liberated. So unless you get liberated, how are you going to teach them liberation? Or if you fail, then you expect, oh, son, do my shraddha so I can get liberated. Right? All right. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Vedavyasapriya Swami I SB.